Hello and welcome. This is Erica Glessing, and you're joining me on 8 minutes of daily inspiration for entrepreneurs and light workers on the Erica Glessing Show podcast. You can always find out how to reach my guests and find out more about them at www.theericaglessingshow.com. So my guest today is joining me from Vienna, I believe. Welcome, Alara Canfield.
Thank you so much, Erica. I'm so glad to be here with you today.
I know. So the sun's kind of shining on the background of you, and you look just kind of relaxed in Vienna. Tell me a little bit about what it's like to live there. I know you just moved there over the last few years.
Oh, I absolutely love it. The buildings here are beautiful. The energy of the city is just wonderful. The food, the food and the sweets, like, oh my goodness, the food is so rich. I just absolutely love it. So it's different than what I was experiencing in Canada, to be sure. It's a whole new culture, whole new language, whole new place. I love it though. It's beautiful.
Oh, that's so interesting.
I've been enjoying it for sure.
So tell me a little bit about your journey and happiness. Tell me about happiness.
Well, to me, happiness is very important. I have a telesummit called Awaken to Happiness Now, and I believe that we can be happy every day. I used to not be happy, believe it or not. It's funny now when I see myself always smiling. It's like I wasn't that way a while ago. I was very unhappy. I was miserable. I was practically on death's doorstep. I was like, yeah. So, I was living in a marriage that I was not happy with. I was working at a career that I was not happy with. And I was basically doing what everybody else wanted, not what I wanted. And so I took some drastic steps, made some drastic changes, and started doing what was right for me. It went against everything that my family expected of me and what they had gotten used to. Right? I was always a good girl, did everything that they wanted, and followed the social customs, the traditional customs, all of that. And then suddenly here I was saying, no, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And they're like, but how? Why? Because I'm not happy. I want to be happy. I deserve to be happy. And so, over the past 7-8 years, it's been a gradual shift. And now it's like my life is completely different. As you know, I'm living in Vienna. I sold my house in Canada. I'm doing healing work and telesummits and meeting just amazing people like yourself, who are so talented and gifted, and they know so much. And it's like, wow, so I'm learning all the time. And I now am married to the love of my life, who was like beyond amazing. I mean, how did I get so lucky? It's like, wow. And it's been quite a change, but it's because I put myself first. I decided to do what was right for me. And believe it or not, I do have children, as you know, and I worried for the longest time. It's like, how can I do what's right for me if it's going to make them suffer? I don't want to, hurt them. I don't want to destroy their lives. Mm-hmm. But what I learned in, trying to be happy for myself and being happy is that when mama's happy, everybody's happy, right? So
I wonder if there's a little secret message in there for me, right? A lot of
absolutely.
That's not coming from God for me or anything. No, we're not potent beings at all.
No, and that's so important.
Before the listeners were listening, we were having a conversation about change and making changes. And when you're a mom, one of the things about changing is the children sometimes are kind of holding on to things being the way they were. So that's pretty interesting. You were able to choose for you and then have it all work out. And your children are so amazing.
And they love that because now they can see me being happy. They see me in a relationship that is so loving and giving that they never saw that before. And they see me doing things like healing work and the telesummits that is really fulfilling for me, and so now they know that they can do whatever it is that they choose. I mean, I always say that, right? But, when they finally see somebody, a role model, their own mother, living the life, they're like, okay, you know what, maybe I can do that too, right? And so it gives them permission. And that is so important for children to know that they can do whatever it is that they desire and what's right for them instead of what everybody else wants, right? And so that's the biggest tip that I think is important for everyone is that go within, go and ask your heart, what do I really require? What brings me joy? What's joyful for me every day? And then do that. Don't just think about it, don't just talk about it, but actually take concrete steps so that you can achieve your goals, be happy, be prosperous, be abundant, and travel around the world. I just went to Venice like 2 weeks ago, and it was like I had a blast. It was beautiful. Last fall, I went to Florence, I went to Munich. Now I'm going to Canada, and I think we're going to Miami in July. And I love traveling. I love being able to have different experiences, and that's, for me, life is all about experiences. So, what do you want to experience? Right?
Well, tell me about your name change. Tell me a little bit about that, because how many human beings do you know that just flat out give themselves a brand new name?
Not very many, to be honest.
Yeah, what did that require, and what was that like for you?
Well, I had never liked my birth name, right? Shefali Burns. A lot of people know me as Shefali Burns, right? I never liked that name for some reason. Just, it wasn't me. And when I was thinking about moving to Austria, it's like I'm changing my whole life. I'm leaving my country, I'm leaving my kids, leaving my friends, my family, everybody, starting a new adventure. And it's like, you know what? I think it's time for a change. I think I want to raise my vibration too to match my new life. And so I did some research about, name changes and how to raise your vibration with your name and so on and so forth. And then it took me 6 months to finally say, all right, I'm going to do it. And so January 1st, I did not wake up January 1st saying, I'm going to change my name today. Nope. It was a spur of the moment.
Actually, I remember chatting about it with you. I think it was even last summer. So that's totally true. You actually knew it for quite some time before you said before it actually manifested.
And then, and my husband did the same thing. He changed his name too, probably the same day as me or after. And, the changes that we have experienced in our lives because we changed our names have been just amazing, enormous, drastic. It's like, wow. I don't think we could have planned it. That's for sure. So it was definitely a good move.
If you recall, I got a fully light energy from Alara.
Yes, I remember asking you. Yes, exactly.
It is what it's got it going on. So congratulations.
And it's been great. Yeah, I agree. So don't just change your name for the heck of it. Do some research.
So thank you for coming to my podcast. And how can people find you and learn more from you, Alara?
Thank you, Erica. Yeah, they can go to alara.at. This is my new website because, I'm in Austria. So alara.at, there's all sorts of information there about my telesummit, about my healing services, coaching services, and MP3s and so on and so forth. I'm around, and I'm on Facebook and everywhere as Alara Canfield. So yeah, you can find me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Erica.